Okay, how many of you have ever asked a teacher what type of material will be on the test, or a test? Okay, like everybody. You know, students, we try to memorize things instead of learning. We also have a lot of pressure on us to maintain a B or higher. And we may even stress over our GPA or have a huge fear of failing a class. So today I'm going to talk about how schools often value grades and performance over actually learning. Okay, first I'm going to talk about the grade culture. I think students are motivated by GPA rather than knowledge, and focus on how can I get an A or what work can I do to maintain a good grade. From the case against grades by Alfie, he argues that grades reduce curiosity, and the quote that he said was, the more we reward people for doing something, the more they lose interest. This supports my claim because it shows how students begin to care more about earning a grade rather than actually learning their material. The next thing I want to talk about is how schools end up rewarding memorizing rather than actually learning. When we take a test, we might focus on looking at a study guide and trying to memorize the questions that we may see, rather than actually taking the time to figure out what is wrong and what is right. That goes for test taking as well. And I think that teachers also sometimes teach to test rather than actually breaking down the information, just so the student knows about the material instead of actually knowing how to solve something. Another researcher described grades as a primary currency for learning. Also, I believe that grades create a bunch of stress on every student. It can create anxiety to maintain an A. Maybe if you have strict parents, you have to maintain a good grade in order to not be punished or get a bad punishment, like your car being taken or your phone. You also may have a bunch of fears for mistakes. So like I said, if you have strict parents, they may, they may, right. You also may avoid subjects that are challenging because you want to keep a good grade or take an easy class. So that way you'll have at least an A on your report card, rather than actually taking something that you need to learn. And then education also becomes a competition. So earning titles like valedictorian, or like just other rewards. That could also be another way. And then a source that I found believes that grades are a form of ranking. In conclusion, modern schools focus on grades and maintaining high performance rather than students actually learning. Education should not focus on letters on a report card, but rather real learning. Yeah, that's it.
Questions, comments?